Okay, here we're going to go in and we're going to take a look at the concept of report parts, which are up in here. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and open that. And that opens this report part gallery over in here, and I have no report parts right now at all. This is that little irritating thing that why the report part gallery is not up in here. It's just because we're really interested in confusing you, and I hope we've done a pretty good job. Again, over in the insert tab, there's my report parts. Let's go through it now. Like, quit whining. So here's this little data set that this report that we've already used, and I'm going to change it down here to report parts, just so we have a little bit of a change. And I'll come down here like this, and let's run it just to make sure it works. And I gotta wait for it to come up, enter a category, and we'll do bikes, view report. Beep, mountain bikes, fascinating. All I wanted to do was show you that we have this. Now you notice these data sets, I have two data sets that are down here that are part of this report. So now we're going to go into, I'm going to click the Office button, click, and I'm going to go Publish Report Parts. Now I have two options, the default settings, which we're not going to use because I want to show you the non-default, and Review and Modify. I clicked in that, and now I have, you see the data sets are grayed. The data sets are grayed because because they're a part of, well, here you go. If I click this little pop-up, that ought to tell me. There it is. Reference to a shared data set on the server. Down in here, that's why they're gray, because this data set is just a reference into on the server. So let me get out of that. And I'm going to come up in here. Now I can go down and I can expand out categories. And we hope you would go in there and actually write down what this parameter does, right? And that's the idea of it down here, report server, and you can click the browse. Down here, Tablix 2, this is more interesting. So here's Tablix 2, and I can go down here and I can go browse also. As a matter of fact, let me hit that, and I can select the folder. Let me pause while it searches. Okay, and here I would say where I was going to save it. So let me cancel back out of that. And down here I can get categories. Okay, again, I would go in here and I would write some kind of a detailed report, hopefully telling me what this would do, and you give it some kind of a description. The reason you want to do that is the whole idea here is to reuse these parts. And if this is Tablix 2, and even if you named it with a semi-good description, it's the details down here that are going to tell the users what it is that they need to bring on down. But we're not going to worry about that. We're just going to go in and say publish. And I'll pause while I publish. Okay, publish. Now I'll click close. And let's go down here. And again, we'll come over to the view tab. Sorry, to the insert tab. Go into report parts. And now I've got this report part gallery, and I can come through and I can do a search. And I'll search, and you see I immediately pull up my report parts, categories, and Tablix 2 down in here, and I can come through and I can take a look at it. And you see the description would be down in here, which can be very helpful for the poor person that has to come through and try to use your stuff. By the way, I'm doing these searches down here. I can add a criteria into the search, modified by, etc. Server folder. Remember we saved, you can save into different folders down here, or type down here. Let's switch it over to type. And the only thing I want to see is a Tablix. And I'll do another search. And now I just bring that Tablix on back across. You can have literally thousands of these report parts because they are really handy. But let's go ahead and use a report part now. So I'm going to go new, and I want to save the changes. I can't remember what I did, so I'm going to say no. And I'll go blank report. And I'm going to go over to the insert menu, report parts. Here we go. Expand this on out so you can see it. And again, here's my Tablix. Again, I would just do a search. And by the way, there's the one view, and here's the list view. So now if I just take the Tablix and I double click it, it added the Tablix into the report. I could have done drag and drop also. Now, notice the data sets were automatically added into the report. Let's run the report. Select a category, let's select bikes. And there's my mountain bikes. Back over to design view. So as you can see, you can actually bring these in multiple times, and then you could go through and change out the properties, etc., and do those modifications. But this is particularly powerful when you go in and you start creating graphs and charts, etc., based on different data sets. So you can just save them on up, and then it makes life much easier for people to come in and reuse your existing objects.